Corvin stepped fully into the room. The door closed softly behind him, shutting out the quiet noise of the guild hall. The guild master stood waiting near his desk. Grey hair, neatly kept, a long beard trimmed with care, and a presence that carried both age and quiet authority. A faint smile crossed his face. "Corvin," he said, "it's been too long." Corvin inclined his head slightly. "Guildmaster." The older man gave a small chuckle. "You still insist on that," he said. "I think we're past formalities." He gestured toward a chair. "Come, sit." Corvin took the seat, placing his cane beside him. The light from the window caught him briefly. Dark brown hair, now streaked with grey. Age beginning to show where once there had been none. The guildmaster prepared tea as he spoke. "So," he said, almost casually, "what do you think of Iberian these days?" Corvin considered the question for a moment. "It's a good place," he said. His gaze drifted slightly, as if recalling something familiar. "I've spent some time here before." A small pause. "It's close to old friends, and to some of my wife's family as well." He looked back at the guildmaster. It might actually be a good place to settle down. The guildmaster nodded slowly. "That would be a change for you." Corvin gave a faint smile. "Perhaps." A brief pause followed. "Though over the years we've moved around a bit." The guildmaster glanced at him. "Not too often, I imagine." Corvin shook his head slightly. "No, only a few times." A small breath. "Mostly for work." The guildmaster set the tea down and took his seat. "And your wife?" "She's adapted well," Corvin said. A faint hint of warmth entered his voice. "She always does." For a moment the room settled into a quiet calm, the fire crackling softly, the weight of shared years lingering between them. Then the guildmaster leaned back slightly. His tone shifted, subtle but unmistakable. "Well," he said, "I'll be direct. In about a year, I'm considering retiring." Silence followed. "I'll need someone to take over the guild." His eyes remained steady on Corvin. "And I've given that some thought." Corvin remained still, listening. "I've kept track of you over the years," the guildmaster continued, a slight gesture of his hand. "Where you've gone, what you've done." A brief pause. "And from what I've seen, you never simply pass through a place." His voice remained calm, measured. "You help. You take on work when it's needed." Another pause. "Not just here, but at other guilds as well." He leaned forward slightly. "That's not something many people do." His gaze settled firmly. "And it's why I believe you would be well suited for this position." A moment passed. "So," he said, "what do you think?" Corvin set his teacup down slowly. There was a flicker of surprise, controlled but real. "Well," he began, "I would need to speak to my wife." A short pause. "We've only recently started settling again. But given the circumstances, I don't think she would object." The guildmaster nodded knowingly. "That would make things easier." "It would take a year, perhaps 2, to teach you how everything works here," he added. A faint knowing look crossed his face. "But you've already learnt quite a bit." Corvin studied him for a moment. "If I may ask," he said, "why not Goron?" For the first time, the guildmaster's expression softened. "Well," he said slowly, "to be honest, he never quite had the touch for diplomacy. He's capable, very capable." A brief pause. "But he's better suited for more direct matters." A faint exhale. "Besides," the guildmaster looked at him again, "I did ask for his opinion." Corvin met his gaze. "And he recommended you." Silence settled between them, not empty, but meaningful.